turning this to a breakfast classic. G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Samsung Kitchen, where I bring to you budget-friendly recipes with sustainability in mind. So this week's recipe, we're going to be looking at one humble ingredient, which is radish or daikon. We are going to be combining radish and rice and turning it into a breakfast classic over in Taiwan. Instead of cafes, we have breakfast shops all over the place, and the radish cake is one of the very classic. Dip it in some soy sauce and top it with some chili oil. Essentially, it's a savory kind of rice cake that is really crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. It is super delicious and I can't wait to show you. Before you get into the recipe, if you like budget-friendly cooking, budget-friendly recipes, and you find these kind of video really helpful, feel free to hit the like button down below. That will help YouTube algorithm to pick up my videos and help promote my video to a wider audience. I mean, everyone can benefit from a little bit of personal budgeting on a daily basis, right? That's all I gotta say, and let's get cooking. Okay, before we start, instead of having to buy rice flour, I'm going to show you how to make your own at home with a quarter of the cost. We're adding 1 cup or about 200 grams of basmati rice with just enough water to cover it all. And then we want to soak it overnight so it softens and breaks down easier. With our prep done the day before, now we get onto the rest of the ingredients. For the recipe, we want about 800 grams of radish, the cup of rice we soaked the night before, a couple of onions to replace the more expensive shallot, and just some salt to season. These are the absolute basic ingredients we need to keep it simple and cheap. If you want to jazz it up a little bit, dry shrimp and dry shiitake are both classic ingredients to add into the dish here. That is all we need for today's recipe. We'll put these aside and get cracking. As per always, make sure we do our bits for the environment and compost our food waste, so they don't end up being in the landfill and emit greenhouse gas for the next decades to come. First thing to prep here is our fried shallot. Instead of using the more expensive shallot, I opted for the more accessible brown onion to keep the cost down. Cut the onions in half and chuck the outer layer into our compost. Thinly slice our onion to about 1/2 centimeter thickness. As we are deep frying the onions, we don't want to cut them too thin and they just shrink and disappear. Once the onions are all cut up, move over to the stove and we want to put a saucepan on medium heat. Load it with some neutral oil. Here I'm using canola. To test the oil temperature, drop a piece of onion in. We want to see it bubbling right away, like what you can see here. If the oil is splashing, it is too hot. If nothing happens, you might want to check if you forgot to turn the heat on. Batch up the onions if you are using a small pan like me, so we don't drop the oil temperature too much. Overcrowding the pan will reduce the heat too much too quickly, and the onions will not turn crispy. Fry the onions until caramelized and turn a deep golden color. Once we're done here, get a spider or colander and we want to scoop the onions out to set aside for now. Back to our workbench. Before we start cutting into the radish, I often get crap from my grandma criticizing that I never wash my veggies, so this one is for you, Granny. Radishes grow underground, so more or less, there's often still dirt stuck on the skin. Give it a good rubbing to make sure there is no more soil remaining on the radishes, and hopefully this will get grandma off my back a little bit. Cut off the tips of the radish and into the compost. Next, grab a box grater or whatever grater you have. We want to turn our radishes into long strips. Since we did wash our radish, grandma has been right this whole time. Keep the skin on so we can keep as much nutrition and flavor as possible. Collect our radish strips in a bowl and finish grating the rest of the radish. All of them into the bowl. Make sure not to waste a bit, including the stuff on the chopping board. Next up, we're going to set up our blender to blend up the rice we soaked the night before. While I'm setting up the blender, I've got my little helper in the kitchen starting to cook up the radish. A heavy pan on the stove on medium heat. Drizzle of neutral oil just to coat the bottom of the pan. Into the pan, we throw in our grated radish. Give it a good stirring for a few minutes and you'll start to see the radish soften and eventually turn into a semi-translucent color. While the radish is on the stove cooking away, we'll loop back to our rice. Give our rice a good rinse here to get rid of the impurity on the outside of the rice. We can see that the soaked rice has become very fragile, that they easily crumble under ever so slightly bit of pressure. Just like millennials and Gen Z, exactly what we expected here. Once the rice is all washed, we come back to the blender and load it all in. Add an equal part of water here, that is about 200 grams for a cup of rice. And then we blend the shit out of it. The soaked rice is a lot softer to break down and turn into the smooth rice flour I couldn't be bothered to buy. If your blender is slightly older, you can also add in a couple of rice cubes to help break down the rice here. The end result we're after here is a rice-water mixture with no obvious graininess left. Move back to the stove, and we want to pour our blended rice water into the pot. Notice here, the radish should be reduced to about half the volume with some liquid sweated out. Keep all of the radish liquid in there, that is some delicious natural flavor money can't buy. Clean down the sides of the blender jug and make sure nothing is wasted here. Now, stir the mixture on medium heat. Our rice flour liquid should be thickening up fairly quickly, so make sure you're constantly stirring so nothing is stuck to the bottom. Once it starts to clump up like this and start to form into a thicker batter, we can add in our fried onion. Add about 10 grams of salt to season and fold everything in until all is well combined and distributed out evenly. Look at it here, the final texture should be something like this. Next, we want to prep up a steamer. Line it with a kitchen towel and pour in our radish dough into the steamer. Obviously, scoop it clean as always. Spread out the batter evenly with a spatula. Pour the excess kitchen towel over our rice cake batter. Some hot water in the bigger pot to steam, heat on, steamer on, and lid on. Now steam for 30 to 40 minutes depending on how thick the rice cake is. Once time is up, pull the steamer off and open up the kitchen towel to let it cool down. It might not look the most appetizing, but trust me, it's a real shit. Let it cool down completely before peeling off the towel as the rice cake tend to be more fragile when hot. I let it cool down overnight and then cut it into about 5cm by 5cm size pieces the next morning. Once again, it might not look anything fancy, but just trust in the process. Check out the texture of the cake here. At this point, it's pretty much done and the rice cake can be served as is, but I like a crispy skin, so I put on a pan and pan fry a few pieces over medium heat. Give it a few minutes and flip them over once crispy skin is formed on the bottom. Just listen to this. To play it up, I tried to be a bit of a fancy pants and stack the three pieces together. A dollop of chili oil and drizzle some soy sauce on top. The cost breakdown is as below. 200 grams of rice at $1.50 a kilo equals to 30 cents. 800 grams of radish at $2.90 a kilo equals to $2.32. 2 onions is about 20 cents. 10 grams of salt at 90 cents per kilo equals to 0.9 cents. Altogether, here are about 4 meals worth of rice cake, costed us $2.82.9 to make. At Yum Cha, a dish like this probably costs you a good $8 to $10. Alright guys, so that is it. That is how we make our radish or daikon or whatever you want to call it, rice cake. It's a breakfast classic over in Taiwan and I can't wait to dig in. As you can tell, it is the next morning. I had to let the rice cake cook overnight so it's easier to cut into, they won't just fall apart. After that, I did a quick pan sear to give it that crispy exterior. Going to dig in and just let you know how it tastes like. It's super soft. All of the radish juice, radish flavor, it's all captured in the rice cake. And the crispy exterior just gives it that extra texture and it's bloody delicious. This whole thing is vegan friendly. Obviously you can add in some dry shrimp or to keep it vegan, add in some dry shiitake. That will add so much more flavor into this for the reason of keeping the cost down over here. Apart from the radish, which is seasonal, all of the ingredients in here should be pantry item and it will be super easy to whip up any time of the week. All right, so I'm going to get back to my breakfast before it gets too cold. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is one of my favorite and I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you liked the video, give it a like and consider subscribing. I have a video coming out on a very regular basis. Thank you so much for tuning in and I'll see you in the next one.